Last year I was sitting in this co-working space and I saw this girl for probably the third time. We had made eye contact. I wanted to talk to her, but I felt that like constriction feeling. My brain is yelling at me, overthinking, maybe she's just in work mode and is this the right time? Does she want me to approach? I feared and hated approaches, cold approaches, starting exchanges, but this time was different. This story was different because it changed my relationship with fear and resistance. And so I want to tell this story and what I learned, because it was not what I was expecting. All of this time I was trying to think my way through fear and overcoming fear and resistance and use some strategy, mindset, reframe, just do it. And that never worked for me. And looking back, there is a reason why it didn't work. This story actually starts in 2023. I came to Bali for the last 5 years since COVID. I had talked to almost nobody besides my coworkers. Moved across the country, moved cities again. COVID lockdown, nobody's talking to each other. My introverted self just used that as an excuse to not go to social events and talk to people and get out of my comfort zone and join clubs and whatever. I bought a van, started traveling, started backpacking, and thankfully I stayed in hostels where I could start to meet people and get into conversations. And I finally arrived in Bali in 2023. I think I left with I met 3 people over 2 months. The whole time I was just kind of locked in. But those 3 people showed me this new North Star for me, which was deep conversations about life with other people. But I still feared and hated starting a conversation with a stranger. What if they're not comfortable, and what if they say no? What if I get rejected, and it's just so much stakes. And I knew this. I knew exactly what my problem was. And I remember so vividly explaining this. Everything is the start of the exchange. There's this hump to go over of initiating, the wall to jump over. Once I get into a conversation, I'm golden. Beautiful. And I knew this, but I tried to think my way through it. Everyone online talks about these tricks and hacks and just count down from 3, 2, 1 and then just do it. You just have to turn your brain off and just do it. And I was I've been trying to think my way through this entire time. It was never working. And so fast forward about a year and a half, I'm back in Bali. I'm starting to develop my skill around starting social exchanges, saying good morning, how are you, to the barista. That was my success story. I started writing these things down. I actually have a video on this YouTube channel, gamifying my social skills goals, where I talk about specifically this. And so I get to this co-working space and I see this girl, beautiful girl, want to approach and start a conversation. And I'm I know, I just want to have a conversation so badly. I want to talk to you, but I can't get myself to do it. And I feel that tension and constriction. And it was the third time we had seen each other. I finally fucking grew the balls to just go up. And I think I said something I've seen you here around, a couple times. What's your name? Whatever. We start talking. It ends up going really well. And she's very receptive and open. We're just casual conversation. I didn't make it you're beautiful, let me get your number. It was just let me just talk to another human being. Over the course of that conversation, the next day we saw each other again at the same co-working space. And a couple more conversations, went for a beach walk, just talking about life, business. We connected at a deeper level. Fast forward maybe 4 months, she had been following my Instagram content and really enjoying talking to me. And when I started to offer coaching, she came back and reached out to me specifically for coaching. And she became a coaching client. And I coached her over 8 weeks. And we really dove deep into her business and life and things that were holding her back. And that was such a rewarding client. And to think about all of those coaching conversations, the fact that it helped me develop my skill, the fact that it became a rewarding transformation that I helped her through, all of that came down to one moment, sitting in a co-working space and working up the nerves and balls to go up and just say, hey, I've seen you here before. What's your name? To think that my fear, the thing that I felt the most resistance towards, starting the conversation, just saying hi, beginning a conversation, was showing me the path. It was the thing that I needed to overcome to get everything else that I wanted. And it was reflecting on this story where I realized fear and resistance was something that was subconsciously directing my actions. And I wasn't using it as the signal that I should be using it for. There was a signal in my body, the fear, the tension, the constriction, the like butterflies in my stomach that I was hearing and trying to like force my way through. Or suddenly my brain would fear feeling that and suddenly jump into rationalizations. Oh, she's got her headphones in, like, oh, she's just had her coffee. She looks like you're working, so like, I don't think she's open right now. All of these reasons why to protect me from going up and potentially feeling that rejection or failure or, move into that risk. And so fear and resistance started to become a signal for me, showing me the direction I need to head. There is a reason why you feel fear. There is a reason why you feel resistance, because some other people don't feel that. Why do you feel fear and resistance in this direction? Sending that message, running that marketing campaign, posting that YouTube video, posting that thing on Instagram. Why do you feel that fear? There is a reason. It is showing you something. That is the learning that I had to learn here. And the problem is, we try to, us like analytical types, we try to think our way through it because we all live up here and not down here, right? And so something happens in our body and we try to go into like, okay, let me use my hack and I need an insight from a YouTube video and I need to just do it, and all of these like things that we think about. Fear is stored in your body. It's emotion, it's a feeling. If you've built the awareness, you realize there's a sensation that happens in your body when you feel this fear. Do you know that? It's not in your brain. It's not a thought. It's a feeling because it was stored somewhere from something that happened in your past. If you don't have a level of awareness of, the day-to-day resistance that you feel, the fears that you feel, the fear of failure, of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of exposure, fear of success. If you don't have the awareness of these, that is what I would recommend you start with. And I can help you with that. I can help you uncover that. But if you don't have that awareness, then you don't know what's going on underneath you. You don't know the current, the undercurrent that is running underneath your behaviors. But once you get to this point, like I've coached people who are very well aware of their deep fears, fear of judgment from their father, fear of success, fear of being seen, of exposure, of being seen, posting YouTube videos, having their manager see it, and yet they are still directing their actions, directing their behaviors. So has just understanding this and knowing this actually changed your behavior? Probably not. And that's why you need to do something else. It is not just the level of awareness that shifts this. I have a separate video called Why I Couldn't Think My Way Through My Biggest Problems in Life, where I go into the process that I use for overcoming fear. You can watch that video. I'm not going to go into it now. But for the rest of this video, I want to give some language to this fear and resistance. Because once you start to use it and see it as a signal that, oh, this fear is actually a good thing for me in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't feel good, but it's showing me something. It's showing me the direction that I need to head. It's a compass. The resistance that I feel is not a bad thing. It is showing me what I need to overcome. If you've done anything creative, writing, videos, anything with exposure, the hardest part is not doing the writing. It is sitting down to write. It is sitting down and starting. That is the hardest part. That is where the resistance comes in the hardest. If you want a book to go deeper on this, on fear and resistance, there's a book called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, where he really goes deeper into the creative journey and where resistance comes in. But I want to share 2, maybe 3 the biggest takeaways from that book. The first thing is what I've already talked about, which is resistance and fear is showing you something. It is showing you the path. And resistance is the thing between your life right now and your potential, your unlived life that is still stored inside of you. The gap between those two things is resistance. And resistance appears in any action that requires delaying immediate gratification for something long term. That is exactly where resistance comes in. And the most common manifestation of resistance is procrastination. You would never go, oh, I'm just not gonna do this. It's like, oh, I will start tomorrow when I have more time. But right now I don't have time, I'm tired, I'm XYZ excuse, right? It is always a procrastination. You will do it, of course. But the fear and the resistance, your brain is transforming that feeling into, let me not do it now, I will do it in the future. And that is protecting you from feeling the discomfort in the present moment. Where do you see procrastination in your life? Where have you gone, I will do it on Saturday when I have more time. Monday, I'm gonna lock in. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna do this YouTube video. Once I get the content strategy, once I join this program, where are you hearing this? This is procrastination, and resistance is underneath that. Stephen Pressfield uses the term resistance with a capital R. That's how I've started to think of it. Resistance, think of it as a thing. It is part of your life. Resistance is showing up in your life, and you are procrastinating as a manifestation of that. And the second thing is the rationalization. The rationalization that you go through. Oh, she's busy. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I heard this week from a guy I coach, like, maybe that's just not the type of person that I am. Like, think about the language that you're using, he's using here. Like, oh, I was thinking about making YouTube videos. I'm really good at building, but my difficulty is like the last mile of selling it. And like, oh, I know maybe I should try content, but maybe I'm just not that type of person. Does that sound like you, or does that sound like fear? Does that sound like a rationalization protecting you from the shame or the guilt or the discomfort or the pain of trying, being judged, being seen failing with 0 views, being exposed? The rationalization is protecting you from that. Oh, I'll do it later. That's not me. I'm not that type of person. I'm gonna do this instead. I delayed for like 2.5 years my calling because, oh, I didn't want to bring money into it. Oh, it's my gift. I don't want to, taint that. Oh, it's like an informal, it's not a concrete thing. Let me build the business first, do the concrete thing first, and then people will listen to me. If I could go back and coach myself, I would say all of these are rationalizations. And all of these are procrastination. It is resistance that you are feeling, and I wish I could give you that language to use. Resistance, procrastination, rationalization, fear. These are showing you where you need to go. And the last part of this that I will end on is the more important the activity is to your soul, to your calling, the more important that action is, the more resistance you will feel. It is expected. It will come up. This is not something where your brain needs to think of the strategy to get through it. You need to start building the awareness of where are you feeling resistance and fear? Where are you feeling those sensations in your body, the butterflies, the constriction? And then awareness to your brain, your thoughts. Stop believing your thoughts. They're not all helping you. Some of them are redirecting you, protecting you from feeling something. But maybe feeling that thing is the step that you need towards pursuing your calling, towards pursuing the potential that is inside of you. And there's no other way to find out if that's true other than doing the thing, taking the action. That is how this story, going up to this girl in the co-working space, having it become everything that I wanted, turning into a coaching client, how this changed my relationship with fear and resistance, seeing these things as a signal, seeing them as not something I want to avoid, but something that needs to happen. It's showing me the path and giving me language towards the feelings that I'm feeling in my daily life, the resistance, the procrastination, the fear, the rationalizations that I'm making, and giving me this new reframe that the more important it is to you, the more resistance you will feel. And so it is part of the process. That is the way. The resistance is the path. That's all I got for you in this video. See you in the next one.